welcome back. Welcome here to old, new, returning best friends. If you just stumbled on this because it popped up in your queue, I don't know why you're here, but thanks for being here because this is the Top 5 Podcast. And when I say Top 5 Podcast, I mean the most entertaining Top 5 podcast that you will stumble upon ever. There's more than one of us, but you found the best one right here. So I'm Chris McPeak, and with me, as always, today is there she is, Annie Pruitt. Hello, Annie Pruitt.
Hi, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very, very excited about this topic today.
Well, shoot, what is the topic today, Annie Pruitt?
We're doing our top 5 cover songs of the new millennium. So cover songs that were released after the year 2000.
Yes. And what made us think about this direction anyway?
So we did cover songs of our college years, and we've done Joan Jett cover songs, but like there's so many good ones that we have to put it in, in eras. So this one is like, mine are all basically from the last 20 years.
Mine are too. And I will tell you that most of them that are here is because I happened to see the group at a concert and they performed something and I loved it. And thankfully they released it on an album at some point. So that's cool. Actually, no, I can't say that that's most of them, but some of them. Other things just kind of popped on here because, you do a search in Apple Music or Amazon Music, whatever you happen to listen to, and you see like, whoa, I didn't know that so-and-so did that.
Right.
So yeah, there's that. This is going to be a fun list because I have a feeling that we're going to have another classic, no overlap.
I don't think we'll have any overlap.
I don't think we will either. I think that we will be pleasantly surprised and curious. And then again, we started making Apple Music playlists for these shows and we talk about music. So yeah, I'm finding that I'm really enjoying having these on my phone. So with that in mind, how about I get us going first?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay. So my number 5 is kind of a mashup because it's a little strange and it's not just one song, although I will highlight my favorites. So a couple of years ago in the pandemic, I think, Juliana Hatfield, who is a favorite 90s indie artist of mine, she came out with these 2 albums. Juliana Hatfield sings the songs of Olivia Newton-John, and Juliana Hatfield sings the songs of The Police. So I don't know where she picked both of these 2 groups / people to cover, like if she just put a bunch of artists in a hat and yanked them out, or if she and her band kind of played around with this. But the Olivia Newton-John covers quite a bit of territory, and online you will read critics that pick Physical out as their favorite, but I do not like that song at all, regardless who performs it. So my favorite off the Juliana Hatfield Olivia Newton-John album is her version of Totally Hot, which is from the album Totally Hot, which is the album that came out right after Grease came out. It's my favorite Olivia Newton-John record. It's very like, okay, I got really sexy at the end of this movie. And so now everything I sing on my new album is going to be nothing but sexy, which one might say, began the inspiration behind the songs of Xanadu and Physical, the album.
Yes.
But anyway, those 2 records are pretty great, but Totally Hot by Juliana Hatfield on the Juliana Hatfield Sings Olivia Newton-John. That's my number 5.
I love it.
Thanks.
Okay, this is hard. So I'm going to go, I'm actually reordering these right now. I'm going to go, my number 5 is going to be, and these are songs that I've listened to in the last like 72 hours. I love them that much. Okay. I love music and well, that's been established. So my number 5 is going to be the cover of Wagon Wheel by Darius Rucker in 2004. So What I love about this song, so it was co-written by Bob Dylan and Catch Secor in freaking like 1973, right? And it's been covered like so many times by all these different, small, I'm sorry, I'm not being ugly, hillbilly, just all kinds of different artists have covered the song. So as we all know, Darius Rucker, started with Hootie and decided he wanted to be a country artist, and he nailed it. Came out with my first favorite Darius Rucker album. But for when he was getting ready to put this album together, he says, I want to sing Wagon Wheel. And his producer said, you know what, no, people hate, other people have covered that. It's been done. It's been done. And Darius Rucker said, I don't care. It's going on my album. I'm going to sing it. And it is the most fun, fantastic, wonderful, beautiful cover. I love it. I love his rendition of it. And it's become like a Pruitt family road trip favorite ever since.
Very cool.
So yeah, I love Darius. He's such a good dude. He just makes my heart happy. And his version of Wagon Wheel just kind of, if you haven't ever listened to it, then go forth and listen now.
Well, okay. I know it. I don't know it well. And so I don't know the original. So I'm going to have to go back and listen. But I do remember hearing that one on the radio.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Where am I? My number 4, right? Okay.
Yep. You're number 4.
Okay. So this is another mashup. Apologies. I went to see the Dixie Chicks in concert in 2018. My first trip to the Hollywood Bowl with my buddy Crystal Ross. My buddy Crystal. Oh my gosh, what's Crystal Collins? I'm so sorry, Crystal. I forgot your last name. And the Dixie Chicks cover a lot of Patty Griffin songs, a lot. But the one that really jumped out the most for me is "Don't Let Me Die in Florida," which these days I can say like, yeah, that is definitely, even though we have a relative that lives half the year in Florida, there's just something about the song. And the Chicks version is fantastic. It's sassy, it's loud. It's a great, great tune. But what also turned up in that show, but not at the show that I saw, is the cover that they did of Mississippi by way of Sheryl Crow. So Bob Dylan wrote Mississippi. I don't know how long ago it was. Sheryl Crow put it out on her Globe Sessions album, which came out in 1998. So I couldn't use that one on this list, but the Chicks covering it and it being on their live album that was released from that farewell tour, supposedly, is really great. So between "Don't Let Me Die in Florida" and Mississippi, the live version from there, and I'll look up the album while we're chit-chatting here. They're great. So yeah, love, love, love. That's my number 4.
Okay. I've never heard that song, so I'm gonna have to listen to your playlist after you put this together.
Well, all righty then, we'll do it.
Okay, so it's kind of funny. I kind of want to do like number 4 and number 3 because they're both cover songs of the same artist.
Okay.
But so I'll start with number 4. Number 4 is not the Bangles cover of "Hazy Shade of Winter," but it's the Gerard Way cover of "Hazy Shade of Winter." So the backstory on this. So the Bangles in 1987 released their version of their cover of "Hazy Shade of Winter," which was on the Less Than Zero soundtrack, and they rocked it. They made a rock rendition of, the very ballad-like sound of Simon and Garfunkel. So in 2019, for the soundtrack for the Umbrella Academy, Gerard Way and another member of My Chemical Romance, Ray Toro, did a cover of the Bangles version of "Hazy Shade of Winter." So the backstory of this is, number 1, if you've listened to the show before, My Chemical Romance is one of my all-time favorite bands. Oh yeah. Gerard Way, lead singer, is also the author, the comic writer for the Umbrella Academy. So the kids and I are sitting down to watch the Umbrella Academy. We're loving it. And the song starts playing and I'm like, oh my God, that's Gerard Way singing. And I like, wait, and I have to pause it. I have to stop it and rewind it. I'm like, and I start flipping out because I haven't heard his voice in forever. So I'm like, I'm fangirling. I'm losing my shit. So I kind of watched this 5 times just to hear the song over and over and over again. but I love that, that he does it the Bengals way, not the Simon and Garfunkel way. But it's a version. It's like a great workout song. So it's on, it's on my running playlist. It's on my normal playlist. It's just a wonderful version. And quite frankly, it pays homage to both the Bengals and Simon and Garfunkel because he really does it justice. So if you haven't watched The Umbrella Academy, do that, but also put A Hazy Shade of Winter by Gerard Way on your playlist. That's my numbers. That's my number 4.
I will for sure check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, where are we? Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 3 just came out in the last year, and we don't talk about Tenacious D a whole lot on the show, but I imagine we'll at some point. But say what you will, the guys, Jack Black and Kyle Gass, are funny as shit, if not completely and totally nasty at times. But Jack Black can sing and Kyle Gass can play a fucking guitar. So when they released the Who medley just recently, and it's a 3 songs from Tommy, the rock opera that the Who did, and it's literally, and I think in the film or on the film soundtrack, these 3 tunes are back to back, but it's okay. Hang on, let me pull it up. It is, oh my gosh, Pinball Wizard is first. Tenacious D. Hang on a second. I have to make sure that I read it proper. Oh, it looks like they just did a cover of Wicked Game too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is exciting. Singles and EPs. Okay. Tenacious D's The Who medley features Pinball Wizard and then something about the doctor. Yeah, they don't have the titles here. And then Look at Him in the Mirror Dreaming. Something about a mirror. So anyway, now I'm embarrassed, but regardless, the 3 of these songs together are fantastic. And I mean, if they just done Pinball Wizard, that would have been enough, but all 3 of them together are delightful. And there's enough of Kyle Gass acoustic magic in there, but it is pretty fucking rocking. So yeah, check that out. It's beautiful.
All right. I love it. I do love Tenacious D and Jack Black. It has an extra, and when you in the movie, you don't realize how good his movie is until High Fidelity, when at the end, and he brought the Marvin Gaye song. So
totally blows your mind. Like this guy, and the whole movie, he's been a complete and total nut job, pain in the ass. But yeah, totally fun.
Okay. So my number 3 is another Simon and Garfunkel cover.
Ooh.
This one released in 2015, The Sound of Silence by Disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard it? It is dark and brooding and fantastic. And like, again, I feel like if Simon and Garfunkel were sitting in the room hearing their version for the first time, they would be very proud. But it made it onto the playlist, I think, first because Emily said, Mom, you have to hear the song. And then it became a thing where the kids and I were singing it all the time. And it's just kind of stayed on the playlist. It's on my, so when I throw on shuffle, it's going to come up. But it's haunting. That's the only way I can describe it. The way that Simon and Garfunkel sing that song, it's melancholy and melodramatic, but the way Disturbed sing it's haunting, and it's just a wonderfully angry song. So yeah, you have to, if you feel like being pissed off, throw on the Disturbed version of The Sound of Silence, and then it kind of sees you through, like you ride the wake out of your anger.
Yeah. What might be a really fun experiment, and just bear with me on this, is because that's the opening song for The Graduate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what'd be really cool is to play the opening of that movie with the volume down and play first the Disturbed version of the song.
Oh, yeah.
And then watch the film and see if anything changes. And then do the same thing with the Brandi Carlile version with the twins. Because I think you could very well get a different result either way.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so, because it definitely would. It's a mood setter.
Yes, absolutely. And I think you're right. I mean, the difference between the Simon and Simon and Garfunkel version, I mean, the way they intended it versus what Disturbed did with it. And if you know anything about Disturbed and you genuinely like that music, their music anyway, that it just, yeah, haunting is the perfect word. And The Graduate, I wouldn't call it a haunting film, but it could have a haunting take to it, I suppose.
Oh, and if you like, especially because, you know, if you watch it like now, like compared with like today's values versus like the whole plastic scene, it's just like that that scene. It's like plastics is destroying our planet.
I know. And again, not that I want anyone to make a sequel to The Graduate, but it would be fun to play around with who might be in it and what they might say. But I could very easily say, I've got 2 words for you. Yes. Artificial intelligence, or, you know, even jetpack or whatever. Yeah. So, and just the whole, right. Everything with the sex and the relationship and the girlfriend and all of those. Yeah. It's pretty,
what a nightmare.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's a nightmare. Like now when I think about it, like, especially because I'm about to send my oldest off to college, and goddamn, like in 4 years, I don't want like the idea of her having an affair with one of my friends, like husbands, just like, oh my God, that's the grossest shit ever.
Yeah, that is pretty ouch.
Oh my God. So,
oh my Lord. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, on that happy note,
what's your number 2?
Speaking of Brandi Carlile, my number 2, right? It's me and we're on number 2.
Yes.
My number 2 is The Chain, which was originally made famous by Fleetwood Mac, as covered by the Highwomen, which is a female super band of which Brandi Carlile is one of the members. And I think this song in particular was recorded for, I'm going to forget the name of the movie, but it was a movie about like Hell's Kitchen gangster wives in the 80s, like late 70s, early 80s, whose husbands all go to prison and they keep their businesses running, etc.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the cover of this song is so beautiful. And you know, if you've listened to the show, you know that Brandi Carlile could sing the alphabet song and I'd be riveted.
Yeah.
All of the things. She's one of my favorite artists ever in the history of my life. But yeah, so, it's a great cover.
Who else? So the Highwomen, who else is in this super group?
In the super band? I will tell you. Hold on one second.
And is that some type of tribute to the Highwomen, the super group of Willie Nelson? And
it is a little bit, yes. Which in itself reminds me of the whole, well, you don't watch Billions. The episode on the traveling Wilburys was pretty hilarious. I think that the 4 women, Brandi Carlile, oh, here we go. Brandi Carlile, Natalie Hemby, Maren Morris, and Amanda Shires. So the other 3 aren't, super well known, but Maren Morris is, I think, a country artist, and they're all fairly younger women. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's great. It is great. Great.
I'll look that up. I'm not a huge Fleetwood Mac, but that song came on the radio yesterday. So now that because it's fresh in my head, I'm going to have to listen to the different version of it.
Yeah. And check out the Sean Colvin version too, which again, didn't make this list, I think, because it came out before 2000.
Okay. So my number 2 is actually it was not recorded as a single or on an album, but you can watch it on YouTube, which I have over and over and over again. So it's in 2015 for SNL's anniversary. Miley Cyrus does 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. So at the time, Miley is like coming out of her like kind of insanity, like crazy teenager weirdness. And she shows up with this classy white outfit and like simple haircut and comes out and sings this song. And Paul Simon is in the audience, mind you. So she's singing his song in front of him. And it is she blew our mind from that moment on. Like, my husband and I have been madly in love with Miley Cyrus. Now the woman can sing anything. And if you go on YouTube now and look at Miley Cyrus covers, it is insane. So I almost want to say, like, my number 2 choice is anything that Miley sings as a cover song. Because she can do anything, and her range is like ridiculous. But when she covered that song that night, again, another freaking Paul Simon song. There's a theme here.
Yeah. We don't like Simon and Garfunkel, but we love other people who do their songs.
But she completely changed my mind about her. And ever since then, I have loved everything that she does. But that song turned it around, because it's a fantastic song. And the fact that what an important evening, a live performance. And it forever changed me. So thank you, Miley Cyrus. I love you.
So I'm going to play this later. Maybe you've already heard it. I don't know, but you know that you're, I guess, moving forward in the world of like pop, rock, pop, royalty, legacy, all of the things, when artists who come before you cover your songs. So I happened to find that Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins did a cover of Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. And I'm dying to play this because
oh my God, yeah.
I feel like it would not be a parody. I feel like it would, and he's, Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan, really interesting stuff, that whole, 80s, 90s alternative, melancholy, infinite sadness, all of the things. But so we'll maybe enjoy that after.
Smashing Pumpkins did Landslide, so there's your Fleetwood Mac throwback.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. The Dixie Chicks did Landslide too.
Yeah.
But I don't think, well, the Chicks might have been in this millennium, but anyway. Okay, that's me, honorable mention, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I just found this song today, but I loved it so much that I had to put it on the list. I could not tell you anything else that Luke Combs sings. He's a country artist, relatively new-ish, I think, but he covered Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, like blowing my mind, fucking awesome. And that song is actually perfect in a country package, because she's kind of folky, but it's got some, it ramps up to a little bit of, I don't know, not speed so much, but I got a feeling that I belong. Like that piece kind of, I don't know, it takes the song into a different dimension, which works really great for his voice and the country, the country feel. So I was really impressed and pleased, and thought, I'm gonna throw this on the list, because I think it literally just came out in the last week or two. It's a brand new album. So yeah, super, super nifty.
Very cool. I will check that out. All right, my honorable mention was released on YouTube. So of course, I got my favorite. I got my Chemical Romance, at least in the form of Gerard Way. I got to get my other favorite band on here. So 21 Pilots released a version of Can't Help Falling in Love.
Ooh, yeah.
Elvis as well. So I'm getting all the best of everything I love. And it's just Tyler Joseph and a ukulele. And he kind of starts out, he's singing in the car, and it goes through like certain like scenes, and he's singing the song. And his voice, he has the voice of an angel, but really it's the beautiful thing about their cover of this song is it gives you a glimpse into their personalities. And then the video like climaxes with they're on stage live, and the audience, the crowd, is singing along to this song. And just the fact that the whole crowd knew the words to the songs says something about Elvis's impact on music and people's love of music. And then it ends with Tyler and Josh Dunn back in the car. But of course, we all know how much I love this band. But that version, that rendition of that song, because it's just the voice and a ukulele, is so beautiful. And I'm not going to cry about Elvis right now, but anybody that can do something that pays tribute to an Elvis song, then I can't not like love it. So, and the fact that it's my favorite band, one of my favorite bands covering Elvis, how beautiful. It doesn't get any better than that. But, and that's just my honorable mention.
That's what I was going to say. If that's your honorable mention, I'm actually a little frightened about what's going to come out at number one, because I might need to go grab the tissue box or what have you. Yeah, just funny story. When Bobby Brown's Don't Be Cruel album came out, my
Yeah.
first instinct was that he was covering an Elvis song,
Oh,
which I'm actually glad was not the case.
that would have been bad.
Although I will say that I think it was Cheap Trick covered Don't Be Cruel and did a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good covers, actually. Yeah.
okay, my number one, I don't think you're going to find on Apple Music. You might find it on Amazon Music. I'm going to have to dig around, but this, and so Sugarland, it is a Sugarland song. And when they tour, they will cover songs that you would not think could be covered by a country band. And I think Sugarland are incredibly talented. I love Jennifer Nettles and Christian Bush of Bush's Baked Beans. And they've done some fantastic covers. They've done some fantastic collaborations. The Life in a Northern Town that they did with Little Big Town and Jake, what is Jake's last name? I forget, is fantastic, is really great. But they covered Pearl Jam's Better Man with a country sway that just, and her voice is so great with this song. It is fan-fucking-tastic. It was on the CD of Live on the Inside, which was their live CD for the Love on the Inside album tour, which also features Irreplaceable, their cover of the Beyonce song with a bluegrass theme. Again, fantastic. And I think they did Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon.
Oh, God, I love that song.
So they do a lot of countrified, and in her super Southern accent, it's countrified, but Better Man with Jennifer Nettles' voice is it is outstanding and it melts my heart. And I love to sing that. And I'm going to have to figure out what happened to my CD or how I can get it on our playlist for this show. But it is without a doubt my favorite cover song of the new millennium.
I love it. Oh, I love it so much. Okay. I just listened to that song yesterday. So now I got to hear Sugarland's version.
Oh my God, great.
Okay. So you kind of opened the door with talking about Juliana Hatfield and her covers albums, right?
Yeah.
So my number one, I got to give you the backstory, right? So
all right, let's hear it.
When COVID, in the early days of COVID, so I'm talking literally March 23rd, 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Billy Joe Armstrong released the song, I Think We're Alone Now, which he recorded with his sons. And then he did a live version of it for some talk show. And that song itself was fantastic. And then a week later, he did Manic Monday with Susanna Hoffs, giving playing backup guitar in her home with her.
I didn't know that.
So he ended up putting together this album. They called it No Fun Mondays because he kept releasing these songs on Mondays, but 14, and they're all cover songs. So Billy Joe Armstrong, No Fun Mondays cover songs album. And then when I went and listened to the album, my life was forever changed because he does a version of the song That's Rock and Roll.
Oof. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's right.
Written by Eric Carmen, originally performed by Eric Carmen, but then it was made famous by our favorite teen idol, Sean Cassidy, in 1970.
Yes.
But then when you hear Billy Joe Armstrong's version of it, you just sing it at the top of your lungs. I think I do it pretty much every day. It's fun to run to. You can walk to it. You can rock out to it. It's a great road trip, but it is so much fun. And just the fact that the project started as a response to, okay, we're isolated in our homes. I'm going to do something fun with it. Put all of these wonderful covers together. So the whole album is fantastic. But when you get to track 10 and you hear Billy Joe Armstrong sing, That's Rock and Roll, you just kind of come alive and you kind of dance a little bit and you have a little sipsy of something. And then you just realize that love of music is one thing that kind of can keep you going. And that's another reason why I love him and his talent and his appreciation for artists and music, period, because he is fantastic. And he covers like the weirdest songs. And it started with, I think we're alone now. What a perfect, what a perfect COVID song, right?
Right. Right. Oh my God.
But he's remarkably talented. I'm so glad that he's in the Hall of Fame with Green Day. But go just whatever you do, listen to that version of That's Rock and Roll by Billie Joe Armstrong on the No Fun Mondays album. Is fantastic.
I love it. And yeah, you did introduce me to that record. I do have it on my phone. And I've come to realize Billie Joe Armstrong is another one of those artists that could, sing the ABC song or Happy Birthday, any of it, and I'd be riveted.
Yep.
Yeah, I really dig him. I dig his vibe, and anything, people that really made something out of the pandemic in the way of entertaining people.
Yes.
About being confined, being alone, that kind of stuff. Super duper special. I love it. Oh, what a great list. This is going to be an epic playlist. Although some of them I think I'm going to have to figure out a way to get the YouTube version onto a playlist. We'll figure it out. Maybe it'll be a YouTube playlist. Who knows? I don't know. We could do that too. Okay, Annie, give me a recap.
Okay, so honorable mention was the Can't Help Falling in Love, 21 Pilots, only on YouTube. And then from 5 to 1, Wagon Wheel, Darius Rucker, Hazy Shade of Winter, Gerard Way, Sound of Silence, Disturbed, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, Miley Cyrus 2015. You can watch that on YouTube. And then kind of a tie, kind of like overall number 1, Billie Joe Armstrong. It started with I Think We're Alone Now, but you got to get to That's Rock and Roll on the No Fun Mondays album from 2020.
Love it. I have Luke Combs with Fast Cars, my honorable mention. Julian Hatfield sings Olivia Newton-John with Totally Hot. Don't Let Me Die in Florida, Mississippi by the Chicks. I mean, I can't call them Dixie Chicks anymore. They are just the Chicks. The Who medley by Tenacious D, The Chain by the Highwomen, and Better Man from Sugarland. And that will get us through another fabulous episode of the Top 5 podcast. Look for whatever playlist we wind up creating for this magnificent group of songs. This is a good one. Again, no repeats. Good job. No overlap. We love that.
I love that.
And, Annie and I get into the cover song thing pretty intensely, but if you have a cover song concept that you would like for us to tackle, we would love to hear from you at hello@thetop5podcast.com. No suggestion will be ignored or unchallenged, or we'll take the challenge. Yeah, you have a concept out there and you want us to come up with a top 5 list, we'll do it. We will not censor anybody.
Nope.
Okay, so she's Annie Pruitt. I am Chris McPeak, and we will, as always, catch you on the flip side.